Good evening. Welcome back to Hellhound's Late Night Spook Show here on the Horror Metal channel. I'm Hellhound, and we're going to do yet another re-review of an earlier video I did when I started this channel 6 years ago. And this time, we're going to take a look at The Stepfather from 1987, directed by Joseph Ruben. Oh yeah, well, let's go ahead and get right down to it. So, Jerry Blake, played by the excellent Terry O'Quinn, is the perfect family man. He's all about the traditional working class, married with children kind of life, and has a traditional sense of values. He's very old-fashioned. That is, until someone in his family either angers him, or is basically anything less than perfect. That's when he murders them all, changes his identity, and finds a new family. And then repeats that cycle. He's been doing this for quite some time, has gone by many different aliases over the years, and slaughtered, a few different families. And his current family consists of his wife Susan, played by Shelley Hack, and his stepdaughter Stephanie, played by Jill Sholin. Everything seems to be going well until Stephanie starts dating. Then Jerry decides it's time to take out the knife and dish out brutal punishment. Then he can simply find another family under a new identity. But unfortunately for the homicidal stepfather, his former brother-in-law, Jim Ogilvy, played by Stephen Shellen, is hot on his trail. Jim seeks revenge against Jerry for killing his sister, and has brought a gun ready to dish out some punishment of his own. Oh yeah. I've always been a huge fan of this great horror film, and really appreciate its interesting and original premise. How can you not be intrigued by a brilliant but psychotic man who just longs for the perfect family and is willing to try and try again until he gets it right, But he doesn't just leave them when things go wrong, he kills them. So, Terry O'Quinn excels in his performance as the maniacal family man and gives a new meaning to the term home sweet home. He's just great. He really makes the movie. It already had a great script and great supporting cast, but he just takes it to a whole nother level. He really makes it as even greater than it would have been. Yeah, Jerry Blake is one of my favorite horror villains in film history, and probably would not have worked with a lesser actor. Let's face it, Terry O'Quinn is the stepfather. And Jill Sholin as Stephanie is a great lead character as well. And I really felt for her, and definitely wanted her to live. I wanted her to come out alive at the end, for sure. She was very sympathetic and a very grounded and interesting lead. The vengeful former brother-in-law subplot also had me glued to the screen, as it provided a lot of necessary backstory to for the stepfather character. We got to know a little bit of his background and his history, through those scenes. Excellent stuff. It was followed by 2 sequels. Terry O'Quinn returned for this one right here, Stepfather 2, and it's pretty good, but it's basically just a rehash of the first movie. It doesn't really bring a whole lot new to the table, but I'd still recommend it. Jeff Burr directed it. He's kind of like the king of the inferior horror sequels, but I still like him a lot. I really like his style, and this movie's no exception. This time we have Meg Foster playing Carol, his new love interest, and horror favorite Caroline Williams is also in a supporting role. But yeah, again, it's not nearly as good as the original, but it's pretty good nonetheless. I'd still recommend it. And then there's also Stepfather 3. Terry O'Quinn did not return for this one. This featured another actor in the stepfather role, and honestly, it just doesn't really work. It has its moments. There's a few decent scenes. I do kind of like how you don't know who the stepfather is this time. Again, it's another actor, so you don't really know. You get a feeling you might know who it is, but they don't come out and say it. At the beginning of the first movie, you knew who he was right away. It showed him, murder one of his families at the very beginning. It showed the actor's face clearly, so you already knew who the stepfather was. And this was a little more of a mystery until his first kill. But then again, it is pretty obvious. It's not like there's a whole lot of red herrings or anything. There's only one character that it could possibly be. But still, you don't know that for sure. Robert Whiteman plays the stepfather this time, and I guess it's supposed to be the same character, because they even showed a newspaper article with a picture of the original Jerry Blake character, and it is Terry O'Quinn. But yeah, somehow he gets plastic surgery to explain his change in appearance, and it makes him younger and with more hair somehow. But yeah, as a whole, I'd say skip this one. It's not all that good. And there's also a highly inferior remake, which is basically just generic PG-13 watered down crap. I say avoid that one at all costs. It cannot hold a candle to the awesome original. I'd rather watch Stepfather 3 than sit through the remake again, quite frankly. And that's saying something, because that movie was pretty underwhelming as well. Anyway, I would definitely recommend this excellent movie for anybody who appreciates intricate and engaging horror thrillers. You know, it's a horror film with a little bit more to it. But yeah, alright guys, well, that's my review of The Stepfather from 1987, directed by Joseph Ruben. Check it out. If you haven't already, I highly recommend it. Alright guys, I'm Hellhound. Thank you for watching my late night spook show here on the Horror Metal channel. Until next time, later.